Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Here we are.
Yes, indeed.
Look at this fancy backdrop. We'll talk more about from where this backdrop came. Do you know, John?
Well, I do now, after seeing the links that you sent. Yes.
Yes. So, talk about that later. How are you?
I'm doing quite well.
All right. Welcome, everybody in the chat. All things DG, Chris, Angelus, Daniel Hansen. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Are we got any opening comments? Here, I'll show
No
this.
comment. Yeah.
No comment. Last week, talked about that book, sort of in the bonus section, right? The World According to Twitter, and my entry about personalized plates, and
Right.
ta-da!
You found it. Nice.
There is the plate. No longer in service, but
Yeah.
still have it. And should clean it up and put it in a little frame and hang it someplace.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's some real history there. Okay, let's get this going. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Okay. How about I count myself down just so I hit the buttons in the right order? In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 684 for June 17th, 2024. Good evening, John.
Good evening, James.
Well, we're back. I think this makes it 3 in a row.
At least.
At least.
At least, yeah.
Good. We've got a few folks joining us. If you haven't already, you should come by the YouTube channel on Monday evenings at 7:30 Central. See how we put this all together, and you get to see bonus stuff. I've got some bonus things actually today.
Nice.
Related to one of last week's auction. And you might be able to see some of it behind me. But I'm not going to go into any more detail because that's for the YouTube watchers. They get to see that stuff. Exclusive content. So what are we talking about this week? Oh, I think I promised a while back following my trip to Belgium that I had an encounter with the art of Jean-Michel Follon. And he is most known to us as the creator of Mr. Macintosh, or Mr. Mac for short. So I thought I'd go into that a little bit more detail for the main segment. Then we've got the little usual eBay finds and some news.
Yeah.
So we'll take a quick break and come back with eBay finds. Yes, eBay finds. Cue that stuff up. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's time for eBay finds. Last week, we began with the vintage Apple Macintosh Plus wooden storage box for 3.5-inch floppies. This one was in excellent condition. It had the little shiny foil decal on the inside of the lid, much like John's own had.
Mm-hmm. Unbeknownst to me.
Unbeknownst to you. And let's see. What did it do? Oh, it did not sell. It still has a buy it now of $89.98, or you can make an offer.
Amazing, really. I mean, it's even the box and the fact that it's full of floppy disks.
Oh, disks too, right.
Right.
Okay, and then the Macintosh XL screen kit in the box with the documentation. You get the little the little chips there, the integrated circuits. The software, I think it's missing a cable though to be fully functional. But that one sold after 5 bids for $282.77. So there you go. And then finally from last week, oh yeah, the lot of 3 G4 Power Macs, spanning 3 generations of G4, and 2 Apple Cinema displays. And what did that go for? Nothing, because they had a starting bid of, I think it's just $150.
Huh.
But no bids.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one of those that you get it's a local pickup, right?
It's a local pickup.
Yeah,
right.
Those are always going to have a little
Waterport,
bit more
New York.
difficult. Yeah.
It's been relisted for the same. Oh, you know what it was? It's a buy it now of $150. On the starting bid, it was a buy it now of $150. Local pickup in Waterport, New York. It's a little questionable about the condition. That's the only thing that's a little random. But if you're going to go there in person, you can bring a power cord and maybe check the stuff out. So, okay. Well, we'll begin this week with this. The title is Colorful Apple Computer Logo Cushion. 1984, the Macintosh launch, NFL Super Bowl. So during the Super Bowl that year, Apple, I guess, was a sponsor of sorts, and they placed this Apple seat cushion on, I think, every seat in the Rose Bowl.
So this was also the year of the commercial, right?
Yeah.
The Super Bowl. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so on the front, you got a big, glorious 6-color Apple logo on this kind of white cushion. And then on the back, it says the copyright 1984 NFL and big Super Bowl. And it's Stanford Stadium in Stanford, California. I think I said Rose Bowl, but it's Stanford Stadium. January 20th, 1980. Oh, it's 85. So it'd be the next year, right?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, the next year. And it's got a little tie-down strap, I guess, to secure it to the chair, right? You just don't see these.
Clean.
Yeah, you don't see these pop up very often, and then they're numbered too. I think they're numbered.
I was going to ask you if about that number. Is it look like maybe it was a tag for inventory, but no, you're saying they all had that, huh?
Yeah, I think they're all different because I think they correspond to the seat.
So
I don't know.
You have a couple of these, don't you?
I got like a whole mess of them. I'm trying to see. I'll have to. Maybe before the end of the show, I'll break one out and see what if I got a number handy on mine. But yeah, this is the number 18 little sticker on it. Looks like it's in pretty decent condition, and they want a buy it now of $75. It ships from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Not bad at all.
Not bad. And this comes from a seller that's known for selling all kinds of cool old Apple stuff. So
Apple Space Treasures, great name.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got next?
Next up, we have, talking about G4s, this is a very nice Quicksilver G4 733 with the monitor. Now, this monitor isn't one of the studio displays. This is one of the ones that they did a blue one for the blue and white G3, and then they did kind of more of a sawtooth looking one. And that's what this has with it. So it's a 4:3 aspect ratio, probably 1024/768. On the resolution on that. The G4 itself looks like it has 640 meg of RAM. Let's see if there's a hard drive size. Nothing I can see offhand. But yeah. So right now, it's a buy it now $350, but it's also just a regular auction. So starting bid $25. Right now it has no bids. This is coming out of Venice, California. Of course, if shipping is going to be pretty stupid expensive for this thing, so if you're looking for a good bargain, if you're in Venice, here's your chance. There's quite a bit of a description here from the seller. I'm not going to go into all of that.
Yeah, so the monitor, I think, is the coolest part of this. The Apple Studio display, 15-inch, which Yeah, this is the graphite. There was
Yeah,
a blueberry one.
blueberry. Yeah, I've got both of those
Uh-huh.
monitors. Yeah,
And so it better color matches an earlier G4.
it
Right.
does, but
Yeah.
it's still they're pretty sought after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the very first of the standalone LCD monitors that Apple
Hmm.
made. So, and actually, these preceded any LCD all-in-ones, too, if I got that right. Oh, no. The
Well, except for the tan,
20th came out, yeah, before
but
this.
that was kind of a
Yeah,
weird one-off sort of
that
thing.
was a
Sure.
weird one. Yeah, so, I don't know, 350. I don't know.
No,
It's
no.
not
That
too.
buy it now. No, I'm sorry, but if the starting bid's
It's
25, that's
25,
not
I
bad.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah.
those monitors are pretty dang rare.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, and no action on this too, surprisingly. Um, all right, and finally, we got another of these big lots
Into
of
collections, huh?
Apple
Wow.
stuff. Yeah, the description. This listing is a lot for used Apple branded vintage technology. I'll read off what's in here real quick. You've got a pair of multi-scan 15AV displays, the box user guide, 800K drive, 6 keyboards, 6 mice, 5 floppy drives, an Image Writer 2, a Mac Plus with original box, an Apple IIc system, 2 Image Writer 2s, 1 Laser Writer, 1 Laser Writer 320, a 2GS, a Color Star Writer, and some miscellaneous manuals and binders. And
Wow.
then you get into the computers. You got a 6160, a 4400, a 7500, PowerMac G3, and then like four different Performas. A lot of miscellaneous stuff.
A lot
Looking
of
through the
broken
pictures here.
stuff.
Yeah, the description. I didn't go into the details, but it does list kind of the condition operating
Okay.
of all these items. Ooh, yikes! That 2C needs some
Uh-huh.
TLC. Looks like it's been.
Somewhere Javier is feeling a disturbance in the force in that
Yeah, the
condition of
plus
that
box
2C.
looks decent.
It does, yeah.
And some of this stuff looks like it was decently cared for, especially the stuff that's in the original packaging. I don't know. I'm not. I'm trying to piece this together in my mind what this stuff is worth, and I
I
don't
can't see
come
anything
up.
that makes it no.
Yeah, I don't
Uh
come up to the starting bid of
yeah.
$5,000.
Well, there was a make an offer too.
There's a make an offer, but I don't even see. I'm not sure I see $1,000, let alone
Right.
five. Do you?
Let's see, where's this coming out of? Hughesville, Pennsylvania.
Maybe I don't know, maybe 500. Oof. Yeah. I think they're dreaming. Yeah, Hughesville, Pennsylvania. All right, well, we'll see if this goes by next week. Okay. Be fun to sort through all that stuff. That's
Yeah.
worth about $50 right there just to
Ah,
sort through it and
just
see
to
what's cool.
play around with it, yeah.
All right, let's get into it. How's everybody doing in the chat? No commentary on anything? Nobody wants any of that stuff? Guess not. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, it was I don't know, a little over a month ago. I was in Belgium for a little vacation, and while in Brussels, there was I guess an ongoing sort of celebration of Follon. Jean-Michel Follon, prominent Belgian artist. He was an illustrator, a painter, a sculptor. And they had a lot of his sculptures like around the city. And they had set up a gift shop, and it's Foundation Follon is what carries on his memory. And I don't know if upon seeing some of the stuff, I don't know if it was the name first or just the image. I think it was actually the imagery that I saw that first recognized it. And when you
He
see
definitely
it,
has a distinct style. Yeah.
yeah, and the style, a lot of his art has this theme of this man in like a trench coat with a hat and very slender and I'm very minimalist. And I think that I was almost reminded immediately of Mr. Macintosh when I saw this image right here at the store. And you'll see in some of his other art, like here's a painting that we saw. There's actually in a museum, and there's the guy.
Hang
there
on,
too.
you're not showing it. You're not showing.
Oh, I should show it. There we
we
go.
are.
Here, let me back up. So here's outside the door of the little pop-up store they had from the foundation. So that is like, you see that, and if you're familiar with Mr. Macintosh, you're like, oh my gosh, that looks like Mr.
Immediately,
Macintosh.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see the name, you're like, oh, that's right, it was Falone that did Mr. Macintosh. And then here's a painting of his in one of the museums, and look there again, kind of a common thing. And I guess maybe when Steve Jobs became familiar with this artist and his various works, kind of had this idea that, oh, wouldn't it be funny if there was this little man that lived inside the Macintosh and would pop up occasionally, say hello, or maybe help you do stuff or whatever. And so he had foisted that idea on the original Macintosh team. And, well, the whole story for it is actually chronicled over in, if I can pull it up, in folklore.org. So I'll refer you there to get the whole story about how it came to be or how it almost was. He actually paid Falone like $30,000 to do up some artwork and do the kind of the branding and stuff, but eventually went another direction with the art that we know as kind of Picasso Mac. But there's a nice story written by Andy Hertzfeld. Go to folklore.org for that. And there's one of the sculptures in Belgium. So again, very Mr. Macintosh. And the short version of it is it didn't come to be because they essentially were tackling like the important things, like the priority things on the project. And eventually they're running out of storage to place the data necessary to come up with the imagery and all. It would have been really cool had they done it. And it would be really awesome if they actually did it now, because certainly it would be no problem to do such a thing.
Absolutely.
And so here's some of the artwork that Falone did draw with Mr. Macintosh. He's tipping his cap, and there's an apple. I guess it's his brain. I don't know. 6-color apple logo there. And then there was a poster which sold at auction, at RR Auction, back in 2020 for $1,500. And so let's see if I can zoom in here. And so it's a little bit different. It doesn't have the face or the hat, but it has still kind of this slender, long arms and legs of a flying, almost like a Superman. But his head is a classic Mac.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if he's flying through space or there's like planets in the back.
That's what it looks like. That's my guess.
Yeah. He's clutching a keyboard and also dragging a mouse along. It says Macintosh. And then, and then I think I've written in a bunch of different languages in the bottom. It says, what does it say? It says, "The Spirit of Macintosh," written in 7 different languages. So, so there are, who knows how many of these posters are around, but I don't have one. I would love to have one. I was kind of hoping to see some evidence of this stuff at that pop-up store.
Yeah.
Belgium.
Wouldn't that have been amazing if they had a reprint of those or something?
Yeah, and they had countless books on the artist, chronicling his whole, but nothing of this, nothing of that other photo that I showed. This one just wasn't evidence. Now, the woman that worked there, she was familiar with the work he had done for Steve Jobs.
Nice.
But nothing in the books. So, and then there was also, I guess, at some point, there were these little buttons that were distributed, kind of promotional buttons, which, again, you really see, the guy with the hat, and then kind of a Macintosh written in script. And, I have one of these, but I don't have one of the originals that were displayed. I don't know what the size of these buttons were. I think they were probably bigger than these little mini buttons.
Nice.
Somebody had made these recreations years ago. I got one of those, but yeah, I think it's just a cool, whimsical idea. It's a shame it never got in there. I wonder if anybody, because it doesn't necessarily have to be Apple. Like somebody could, some enterprising developer could come up with a little app, right?
Absolutely. Sure.
Just like, like the talking moose and those things. I wonder
Yeah, exactly. That's that when you said talk about it popping up, that's the first thing I thought of was the talking moose.
yeah, have him, periodically pop up his head on the side and look around and then go back or fly across the screen or whatever. Now, there is another instance of Mr. Macintosh, and I was trying to find my photo of it, but on the early logic boards for the original Macintosh, it was actually printed on the circuit board. Years ago, when I was at an event at the Computer History Museum, I got to hold one of these and take some pictures of it, and I couldn't put my fingers on those photos tonight, and and my Google skills were poor today trying to photo search for that. But if you're lucky, you can find it.
Didn't Steve, Mac 84?
Well,
he
that one
had
that
a
he
prototype
came
for a while,
across,
and he posted some pictures at one
yeah, that's probably
point.
that's probably a good place to go find it. But it's essentially this guy right here with the little trench coat and the hat, just kind of etched into the motherboard. So he is hiding out there in the physical hardware, if not the OS. So there you go. That's Jean-Michel Fallon, and pop on over to folklore.org to read the rest of the story about Andy Hertzfeld and how he interacted with the artist and drew him a sketch. It's really a cool little story. All right.
Hey, Garth.
Garth is here. Is Garth actually a Beagle brother?
No.
He doesn't have a brother, or he is not a brother.
He is not
Somebody?
a Beagle brother.
Well, he's a Beagle.
He is a Beagle. Yeah,
He's
you're
not
right.
the Beagle.
I don't know his sibling situation.
All right, we're gonna get into news.
Yeah.
News. All right. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. All right, it's time for the news. Where was this? This was on one of the Facebook Mac groups. And Bruce Rain posted this photo. Look, a mint condition Power Mac 4750. Okay, that's a new one. And he says, build video coming soon. And so we look at the photo here. It looks like, gosh, it doesn't look like anything particularly familiar. It's a half
size
short tower, yeah, and it's very light. Almost, is it? It looks like it's lighter than the traditional. And maybe it's just because it's next to that really beige monitor.
Very, very, yeah. But it looks like it's probably your.
It looks like it's more
platinum.
like a. It looks more like a Snow White, like it's an Apple IIc color, but. And it's got a 6-color Apple logo sort of in the middle of the height of the case. And actually, it's kind of got that Snow White, that design language, right? With the slats and the vents.
Yeah, obviously they use the the Quadra or the was it the 2CI as a.
Do you think that's all custom?
Yeah, that's Pretty sure it's
The
supposed to be
custom
3D, a 3D printed
Yeah.
case. Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
the most
LC475.
notable.
Oh, is that what it is? They've got an LC475 board in there, and they just redid the case to look like. That's what Garth is saying. That's awesome.
And then there's I guess that's an SD card slot right there in the front.
Well, probably because it's probably got a blue SCSI inside for the drive. That's my guess. Well, Bruce is supposed to be doing a build video, so we'll be able to find out more. But nice.
So it's an LC475 tower. Interesting. With a custom case and some kind of SD card based
Very neat.
boot
Very
volume.
neat.
And it's running there. So we'll get to learn more about that later. And then, so this is the background we have for our YouTube channel here. I was using one of the wallpapers from the upcoming new operating system, Sequoia. And over at basicappleguide.com, they've posted screen grabs of a lot of these wallpapers. And they're actually dynamic, though, which is really awesome. So, but these are just static images. And it like populates like different icons and things and scrolls them around. And so they're all reminiscent of like the earliest Macintosh. You've all the old logos, and some of them even show like old applications like Mac Paint or Mac Write are in there. And
I love them.
Yeah, they're
awesome.
really awesome. This is worth upgrading right here to get these. And here's a video that somebody made of actually how it looks like when it's dynamic on your Mac.
Yet.
And so you get kind of like this isometric view of the this is right here. This is like Mac Write, and it animates
you can
to the
actually
crazy
see it
ones,
doing the typing and stuff. Oh,
the
that's
Misfits,
awesome.
The Rebel. So this combines obviously the Think Different campaign with Mac Write. Also in this cool, like even though it's 1-bit, it's like super high res. Like it's somehow modern and yet old, and there's so much so much going on there. It's just I love it. So I'm looking forward to that. I guess you could do the beta and do that whole business. I'm going to wait till it's official before I upgrade my Mac. All right, and then there's this. You just sent me this link right before we started the show over on Reddit. This is The Loneliest Monk, posted 4 days ago. It is there. So they're photos of a Mac that was presented to this person in 1983. So pre-release. So, it's probably one of those like they're setting up to developers.
To the poster's dad.
Oh, to the dad.
Steve Jobs presented that to his dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's some good close-ups here of it, and you'll see some key differences from the final production one. And it came in a Mac bag. There's the mouse. Now, is that connector different?
Yeah, so the connector's different so that the cable's coming out at a right angle versus straight out the back, which kind of makes sense for where you plug the mouse in on the 128K. Yeah, it's just a little less cable strain, I suppose.
And is there only one thumb screw on the actual one, or are there 2 thumb screws?
I'm sorry?
So there's only one thumb screw.
I see what you mean. It looks like it might just be the one. I don't know.
I think there's 2 on the final one.
There's 2 on the other one. Yeah.
And then you can hear in the close-up picture of that, you can see the smooth plastics. They didn't have that kind of the prototypes of these smooth plastics like that. And then the feet.
The feet, yes.
Which it wasn't until Steve Mac 84 did his video of an early Mac. I think that's when we saw the feet like this.
Oh, really? No, yeah. And this is probably over on Folklore, but I wanted to say there was a story about they were going to do that, and Steve Jobs said, "No, that's too much
Too
Apple
much.
branding."
Yeah,
Um,
they have the
yeah, I want
little.
to say there was a story about that.
Okay. And then there's a sticker, like a serial number for Apple Computer in the Modern Tectura font, identifying it. And there's a picture of the back, which also of interest is the branding of Apple and the Modern Tectura there, which is kind of crazy. It looks like the labeling looks like it's probably got less than what the final one has.
But I love the fact that it's got the Mater Tectura
Yeah,
font molded into the case up top, where it ends up saying Macintosh.
yeah, yeah. Now this, okay. Let's just see if there's anything else that looks a little different here. Oh, pretty good. Are there any pictures? Just a close up there of the label, and then I don't know why there's a picture close up of the inside. I'm not sure what I'm
I
supposed to
don't
be
know.
looking other than the Apple stamp there, but very very cool.
Hmm.
These early Macs, the subtle differences, and I wonder if it had like an early pre-release OS or any other weirdness. Hey, who knows? Maybe there was a little tiny version of Mr. Mac that resided in
You
this
never know.
thing. Very nice. It's still in running condition. Is that right? I missed it. Is it booted up? I can't. I don't. Do they boot it up? There's no pictures of it operating. Hopefully it's running. Anyway, I think that's it for the news.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for all the background info on that, Garth.
All right.
Yeah, at first people were like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, Steve Jobs gave that to your dad. And then they're like, oh, wait, yeah. Once he started posting more pictures of things like the back and the feet and stuff like that,
Did he
people
say
were like,
why his dad got it? Was he a
yeah,
developer
his
or
his
something?
dad was hey, it's gonna be it would take me too long to find it, but yeah, basically his dad worked for some company,
Mm-hmm.
and basically Steve Jobs said, yeah, here, take this, see what you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I wish I had the details up. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you look at the other post, the previous post by them, you'll
Mm-hmm.
see that the first post he did, it was just a picture of the front, that the same as the other picture, and he goes into the story, where they go into the story.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Neat.
Yeah.
All right. And I guess it hasn't been powered on, and Steve Mac 84 is in the comments cautioning them about turning it on
Ah,
and having it catch on fire or something. It probably needs to be
yeah.
examined
The
before.
inside needs to be right.
Yeah.
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 Analog board recapped, and fortunately, there's not a whole lot that can go wrong on those logic boards.
Uh-huh. All right. I think we're going to wrap up the regular show. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that wraps up another episode of the RetroMacCast. We will be back next week. Yes. Next
Yes,
week.
yes, yes.
Okay, great. We'll come up with something to talk about. Thanks for joining us, everyone, in the chat. And yeah, and I think after we finish here, I'll show some stuff to the YouTube audience. So,
Yeah, bring out those cushions.
oh, the cushions. That was yes, the cushions too. I gotta look up. I can see one over there, so I'll do that. That was a show based on a different auction from last week. Can you see them in the back over there?
Hi.
Yeah, maybe not. Anyway, all right. Of course, if you want to see what we're talking about, watch the video on YouTube or just join us live if you dare. Monday evenings, 7:30 Central. And until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Okay. So let's you're gonna go solo, John. Entertain the crowd. I'll go grab one of those cushions.
So has anyone used the clipper yet? It's a thing to give you your internal SCSI on the Mac Plus. I've been having issues. I've been trying to get it to work. No luck. If anyone has had any luck, reach out to me on Reddit. Here he comes back. He's holding something. Here we go.
All right. The cushion I grabbed that was handy does not have one of those stickers on it. I'll have to check. Maybe by next week I'll see, because I've got probably a half dozen more somewhere around here. So no sticker on this one, but this one is a beaut though. This is like pristine.
Oh, it is fantastic. Yeah.
Because I mean, they were used. They were at the game, and people.
Sure.
I'd say most of the people sat on them and then took them home and then continued to use them. And then maybe there were, a handful of people that said, "That is cool. I'm not going to." So I gotta wonder if Steve Jobs, what he thought about somebody sitting, putting their posterior on the Apple logo, but maybe they were told to sit on this side. I don't know. No, what I was going to show was related to last week's auction. We were talking about the diskette boxes. I think we did an episode on this way back. Of course, we didn't have video when we did this. These diskette boxes, I've got a number of them.
Oh, you have one of the earlier ones before it was labeled Mac Plus?
I don't know if this is earlier or later. One would only guess.
Right.
This one, yeah,
this is definitely different.
This does not have the Mac Plus. It does have an Apple logo on there.
Right on the front.
It's very similar. It's slightly different. It's got this dovetail construction on the side.
You're right. Yeah, mine does not have the dovetail. Yeah.
Yeah. And then does the other one doesn't have the little inset here at the top.
Mm-hmm.
It's got
the other one
the
has
bottom.
a little bit of a
Yeah.
so you lift up at
Otherwise, kind of the same thing. I put
pretty much
a
the
bunch
same.
of
Probably made by the
bunch of
same
stuff in.
company.
Yeah. Does it have anything on the bottom? Oops. Nothing on the bottom. So there's
It was a darker color. It was like a darker stain than the
right.
other one
It might be
also.
a different wood. It looks like it's a different.
Good.
It's a different looking green.
Good thought.
And then the plus one. So I got a couple of these, and so this is the one that you have with the plus.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have the dovetail. It's got the little notch, and this one more stuff in here. This one does not have the sticker. But this other one, and I had forgotten about this too. Here's one, and this one, like yours.
It does have the sticker. There you go.
Sticker.
And that does look like a pretty dark wood still. Mine is very light wood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Maybe just the lighting in here. I don't know.
I don't know.
So there's that, but there's one more thing.
Show me the top.
Oh.
Show me the top on that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yours is considerably lighter, isn't that?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. A variation.
This must have been for the platinum Mac Plus.
You sure you didn't leave that out in the sun?
I shouldn't have retrobrighted it.
It's bleached. And then this is my favorite one that I've never seen another one of these ever before. And I got this was on eBay.
Oh, nice.
This one,
It's like a half size, huh?
it's a half size. It's like, is it?
Do you think that was an official, or do you think that's something
It's
somebody
almost
made?
exactly the half. Well, I mean, it says Apple computer, right? That's
Yeah.
etched
Okay.
in there, like laser etched. I don't know how they would have done it back then.
Nice.
Not lasers back then.
Oh, probably a little sandblasting and some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks pretty official.
That's yeah.
And
that's
it's
pretty
about half
nice.
size. And same thing, you put your disc
Sure.
inside there. So I've got what's in here. It's just some miscellaneous stuff. One of
Little
those.
tiny stained glass. That's nice.
And lots of these little
Oh
these
yeah.
little card decals. But yeah, that's a cool one.
Pretty
right there.
cool. Heck
So,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's in a catalog somewhere. I don't know. Having this got little felt feet on the bottom. There you go. All this cool stuff. All right. I think we'll wrap it up.
Yeah,
Thanks
man.
everybody for joining us. And Garth's got a Super Bowl cushion. That's great.
So yeah, All Things was asking if Apple sold those. So did those come out of the catalog initially?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe they're official licensed products that were sold by them through the catalog. Probably should go back and.
Do you actually
I think
have
I
any
have.
of those old catalogs? I know we've
I
talked
have.
about them
I have
before.
them. I have them all. I think.
Wow.
I'll thumb through
That
those.
might be. That would be probably good to pull out like the first catalog, especially if it came out. What year it came out? Because
Right.
if they had one out in '84 and you've got one, that might be an interesting thing to go through with it.
Yeah.
For the anniversary.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'll do that. All right. Well,
All right. I think
we'll
that's
see
it.
everybody next week. I hope.
Yeah.
We'll play a little music.
All Things. I hope you get some sleep.
So long.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.